Hello. Thanks for agreeing to be part of these listening sessions, either as a scribe or facilitator. This video is going to walk you through a little training, a short little training to just prepare you for what your role is with us on this day. So first of all, just a huge thank you. Last summer, one of the biggest things that we heard was how valuable it was to be asked these questions, and second, to be heard. And so your presence literally of just being a set of ears and represents not only the seminary, but the posture of how we want to be always learning from those people out in the field and the experiences that they're having. So thank you for representing Luther and helping us both in Faith Lead Academy and in other Faith Lead endeavors and other curricular endeavors, just hear what the needs are in the church today. The two that we're going to be doing this fall are on lay leaders and rural ministry to kind of listen to populations in many times. And so this will be an awesome piece for that. So what I want to do now is walk you through kind of the overall process and then talk about, if you're a scribe or a facilitator, what your role is. So first of all, we have a session where everyone will come into a Zoom room, and then we will break this into 3 subgroups, each with a set of questions, and people will go into breakout rooms, of which you, the facilitator and scribe, will be the hosts. Each of those breakout times will have a series of questions. The first one, each participant will answer individually, and then the second is a discussion question. Groups will be 3 or 4 people, depending on the number of people in the overall session. And so your role as the facilitator is really to make sure that you're kind of watching that everybody doesn't go over their time for individual, and that there's kind of cultivating that time as a discussion at the end. And so Tessa from the large group will be sending messages each to the room, so you kind of know where you are in that time period. So each group has 20 minutes to get all of that done. And so there may be a little bit more of discussion, but hopefully not too much less. So with that, what I want to do is I want to walk you through one of the sheets that you'll get ahead of time that actually kind of lays out more specifically, and then show you as the scribe kind of how this will go. So this is the email or the Word document that you will get in an email that has literally kind of laid out each of the rounds and the particular questions. So for this one on lay minister, the first round is understanding lay ministry. And the first question is, describe your understanding of lay leadership. Who do lay leaders need to be? What do they need to know? And what do they need to do? You give them 3 minutes, each person shares with that. And then you say, as a small group, discuss what you heard from the other participants in your breakout and highlight what is most important for us to know about lay leaders today. That's round 1. Round 2 is understand areas of growth. Those 2 questions, and 3 is understanding roles and collaboration. On the second page of the document, you will see a list of the participants and a little bit about them. This one so far has 9 people. There might be a few more people that sign up between now and when you receive the email, or actually even between when it happens. So if there's a few additions, Tessa will be sending you messages in the chat if something changes. But here's the list of people. Each of the participants will get not only the list of the questions, but the list of who else is there. So please don't take a time in your discussion to say a lot about their context. Just have them say their name and then answer the question. And so they can go back to this and see. And then you'll see here, it has you, the facilitator and scribe, which group you're in, and then each of the rounds, which names there are. So if you want to, it might help to facilitate better to kind of look and see kind of whose role is there and whatnot ahead of time. The other thing is, if you're a scribe, right there in the middle, it has the forum, the link to the forum. So the next thing I want to do is I want to walk us through the forum and how to fill that out. So here's the one again for lay ministry, and it has here to put your facilitator name in. I already added mine, Terry Eldon, and scribe Tessa Pinkstaff. We ask that you actually fill this out in real time. That's kind of one of the easiest things to do. If you would rather, you can write it down and fill this out later. But please do submit this form within 24 hours. We are trying to do our best to have all of this stuff wrapped together and given the themes back to people within a week or two. So your being quick with returning this will help us as well. So once you do this, then you click next. Now in this, you see all the instructions that were on that first Word document are also in this form. So you as a facilitator, or you, the facilitator will be saying this, but you as a scribe have all of this here as well. And then what you do is in each of these participant one, you just put ideas. You just write in whatever they say. All right. And you don't have to put their name or anything like that, just whatever they responded to. And then person 2, and then person 3, and then the small group as well. And then you hit next, and you do that for each of the rounds. And then in the last round, you will see at the very bottom, there's a submit button. And then you just submit that form when you're ready. So if you're the facilitator, you do the questions and you keep the time. If you're the scribe, you're writing down the answers no need with connecting it with names or anything like that, and submit that within 24 hours. The time will go fast. Each group will be different, and we will learn a lot. I know one of the hardest parts of this from our first round was to not add our own, and to not get into the discussion. We ask you to be engaged, but not in the discussion. Let them kind of offer the ideas. If you have any questions, please feel free to email either Tessa or I with your questions, or we will be actually in the Zoom room 30 minutes before each session. You can just come early and ask us that as well if you have any questions that we can answer in that mode. Thank you. And we really appreciate your being part of this journey with us.